to guide you as you contemplate this question. S.J. Rozan, New York, New York, July 2021.
Grand Garden by Naomi Hirahara. 5 cents. Pardon me? 5 cents, mister. I jumped in to help my mother. The mustached patron wore a blinding white suit with a navy blue string tie fastened around the collar of a striped shirt. His straw hat was tipped to shield his pale, splotchy face from the Southern California sun. Grasping his elbow was a proper madam with a bouffant hairstyle and a long pink flowing dress. Over her shoulder she balanced a pastel yellow parasol, long tassels hanging off of its edges. Okasan lowered her eyes, ashamed that she could not be understood. The obi around her waist was tight around her kimono. Because she was so padded, only my father and I knew that she was pregnant. My father insisted that she continue to work because most visitors to the Grand Garden in Pasadena, California, expected to see a Japanese woman in a kimono. The patron placed 2 nickels on our wooden counter. My mother slowly picked up 1 coin at a time, placing them into the far left compartment of the money box that the owner had provided for us. My mother was a woman of few words, which made me pay attention to her every time she spoke.
"What an enchanting place," the madam said,
admiring the moon bridge over our goldfish pond, beside a pathway lined with cherry blossom trees.
"I never knew this existed."
A high fence hid the public from our world. Our garden was flanked by young pine trees. Their branches extended like arms, reaching out for help. Down in a valley was a dark brown Japanese-style wooden house.
"Does anyone live there?"
she asked, loosening the grip on her umbrella. By this time, my father had arrived from trimming one of the pine trees. "We do," he said proudly, his pruning shears in one hand.
"Really?"
The couple were fascinated by my father's figure, wearing a cotton yokura, with a sash tied below his slightly protruding belly. Unlike my mother, my father loved to talk and spoke both English and Japanese fluently, making him a perfect ambassador for the garden. After he turned to take them to the moon bridge, we could hear his regular spiel. He and 5 other Japanese men had built the house from scratch on this block just south of downtown Pasadena at the turn of the 20th century. Absolutely no nails were used in its construction. My father himself had carved the decorative rectangular wood panels that were affixed above our sliding doors. The woman cooed. Okasan had again won over our patrons. I'd lived in Grand Garden my whole life up to then. I didn't realize how odd our home was until perhaps my 7th year. We had a gong hanging from a stand in front of our house, and whenever the milkman would make his delivery, he would hit it with a stick that was attached to the frame by a thin rope. He didn't have to do that, but I think he got a thrill from making a sound that reverberated through the pine and cherry blossom trees and down the streets of Fair Oaks in California, which were lined with parked Model Ts. There were only a handful of Nisei children in my school. One was the son of a laundryman in downtown Pasadena, a few blocks north. The business took up the first floor of his building. In the back were Japanese women, their faces flushed from the heat, bent over ironing boards that flipped out from the wall. The smell of starch permeated the crowded room, and after a while, beads of sweat collected on my forehead from the heat and humidity. A few of the laundry workers folded the billows of bleached bed sheets that would be delivered to the area's luxury hotels. Kentaro lived upstairs in rooms carpeted by rugs from East India and slept in an actual bed. My other friend, George, lived behind their nursery in a wood-framed building that had planks on the floor. George's family also had a Japanese garden, but it was a small one. A point of pride for his father, but no one else in the family. Both Kentaro and George